You're tired of working day in and day out, trying to find new boomer customers, chasing leads, doing whatever work comes your way, and never getting to earn what you're worth. You do it because you love the work and you're passionate about serving the boomers. We get it. What you need is more of the right boomer customers for your business and more income for you and your family so you can grow your company and help more people in your community. Well, you're in the right place because this is Booming Your Bottom Line.
Hello and welcome to episode 45 of Booming Your Bottom Line. Today we have yet another treat for you. We are talking with Dr. Jill Bjerke. Jill is someone you may have run across while working in this niche of older consumers. She is the founder and president of Silver Spaces, Clutter Company, LLC, and its division, Aging in Place with Grace. She is a thought leader, entrepreneur, and change agent, known for encouraging solutions-seeking and positive results. She creates customized solutions for those wishing to downsize, eliminate clutter, and create clean and simple living spaces, is a certified aging in place specialist, helping people to determine if staying in their own home as they age is the right decision for them. She is the creator of the first aging in place mobile app called Silver Spaces, a home assessment app that will provide builders, remodelers, occupational and physical therapists, and senior service providers with a tool for determining the changes a residents need to make it an age-in-place friendly and safe. She is a published international author, providing crucial, timely information at a time when it is needed most, and recently accepted a gubernatorial appointment as commissioner to the Iowa Department on Aging. Jill, we are so excited to have you with us here today, finally on the show, so welcome.
Thank you. It is an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm so glad to be invited.
Oh gosh, well, it's great to hear your voice, and we're certainly glad to have you with us today, and thanks for taking the time to join us. So Jill, our goal today really is to let our listeners tune in every week at Booming Your Bottom Line and get stories from owners just like you, stories about your business. We'd love to have you just share some insights and background today, so other small business owners all across the U.S., just like you and me and Mark, that are serving the boomers can be inspired, learn from all of us and you as we chat here. I want them to be encouraged in their pursuit of the small business dream to help boomers and their families in the years ahead. So if you're ready, let's just dive right into my first question, which is basically what is your business today? What are your main services and products?
Well, my main education is a chiropractor. So I am a healthcare professional. And about 10 years ago, I read an article. I was at the end of an independent contract looking for something else to do. And I happened to read an article in the newspaper about something called a senior move manager, which at the time was something brand new. And a senior move manager does just that. It helps seniors move. And I thought, I know I can do this. Took about a year, put my business together. And my main service then, as is now, is helping seniors who want to transition to different housing, whether it's moving into assisted living, moving in out of their 40-year home they've lived in for 40 years to a two-bedroom apartment, makes no difference. That's the main core of our business. It is true then and it is true now.
Excellent. That's awesome. So you said that you had heard about the move managers. What inspired you to take that leap to start working with older consumers?
Well, as a healthcare professional, I've worked with people for a long time. I have a passion for helping people. And I thought, this is a niche that's becoming brand new. A lot of people don't know about it. And I think I can do this. I think I bring healthcare to the table. I have a background in finance, in marketing, in a lot of different areas. And I thought, I think this is really tailor-made for me. I think it's something that I can do. And I kind of treated it in the beginning almost as, as a chiropractic practice to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. I would see people, I would talk to them, ask them about their problems, what are they trying to accomplish, and then we'd make it happen.
Very cool. That's beautiful. So as you made this transition and you bring all those things to the table, Mark and I talk regularly about just the more the merrier, right? If you can kind of get your ego out of the way, I think having a chiropractor or having my occupational therapist or my financial planner, just the more brains, the better the solution. So, but for you and your business, maybe you were one of the first if the whole industry and concept was new. But now let's zoom forward a little bit, right? You've got competition, don't you, at this point? How are you different? How are you separating yourself in your industry locally to make sure that you have a unique sales position?
Well, one of the first mistakes I made was looking around the country to see what other businesses like mine did. And they offered so many different services that became overwhelming to me. And I thought, wow, I don't know if I can do all that. So I had to back off and back up and decide where my strengths were, what I really wanted to target, and who I really wanted to work with, who's my main demographic. And as it turned out, I really started marketing to seniors. I did a lot of print advertising in the beginning. I noticed that I didn't have competition for about 5 years. And then when the competition came in, I learned from other people what that person was doing, so that I could do something different. And for example, that person would never have anything less than 4 hours. She would not work less than 4 hours. I have no minimum. And the least amount we've ever worked was 8 hours anyway. She would only sell her services as a package. So you could buy package A, package B, package C, and it was dependent on the number of rooms and the number of hours she would help you with. I don't do that at all. I customize everything to what my clients need. So we do one room, we do a whole house. It just is dependent on what the client needs. So it was trying to find out kind of what my competition did that I could do better and do differently. And it wasn't that hard. My reputation in this community is just absolutely outstanding, and it's one of the things I protect more than anything in the world because it's been 10 years in the making. And people will stop me and say, I've heard of you. And I'll say, really? Oh, yeah, I really need you. You need to come and look at my bedroom. I'm like, here's my card. When can we meet? So that's become very, very valuable. Is in getting my name known and what my company does for people.
Right, and those are actually great examples, and you hit on a couple of things that Aaron and we are continually talking about, and one is protecting your reputation. Differentiating yourself, through those years of that impeccable service and that whole customer experience, and being flexible and building your business around the people that you're serving so it suits them and not suits what you think it should be. So that's just spot on. So in terms of finding people, reaching and connecting with these boomer consumers, how are you doing that today in a way that resonates with them?
Well, I probably spent in the beginning between $5,000 and $8,000 on print advertising. I think everybody, when they put their toe in the river, that seems to be the first place you think you should start, is print advertising. And I tracked it, the cost and the leads. I never got a single lead out of print advertising.
You aren't alone.
So that meant I had to do something else. My main client base comes from presentations. I do a lot of presentations. I educate the public on what aging in place is and what it isn't. And that is really that, and referrals from other clients. I also work with other businesses. I work with a mover and a hauler and an antiques appraiser and an eBay reseller. These are all people that help my clients, and they refer business to me, and I refer business to them.
Oh, you are speaking our language, Jill.
Oh, yeah. Can I take you home? Boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Well, that's, all great advice and insights. And I just want to go, hi, listeners. There she is. She's saying, I hope I don't know which side you're on when Mark does this, but, I'm like, there it is again. Same thing we're saying, right? Grab a mic, grab a stage, protect your brand, build cross-industry referrals. Oh,
Educate.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but recognize that it didn't happen overnight. It was, it was a learning curve. Yeah. And this is where you guys come in to help people shorten that learning curve, because mine was straight up. It wasn't really a curve. It was an upward angle. And it came with what works and what doesn't work. And what do I like and what do I not like? One of the things that being a chiropractor taught me was to listen. So when I go talk to a client, I listen to what they tell me on what they want to accomplish because I cannot ever design something specifically made for them unless I'm listening to what they want to do, what their timeline is, what their budget is, and any other issues that they may have coming up. So if there's nothing else you need to do really well, it's listen.
Well, yeah, of course, because, when you get in that situation, unless you're listening, you can't be the advisor. You've got to listen, and then you can draw on that experience and, the knowledge you have of solutions and so forth and so on, and be able to provide them a proposal for what they could do. Whether they take it or not, that builds your reputation being so thorough with them.
Yeah.
And that's just fantastic.
Lou Holtz had a pretty good record, and I think he's the one that said there's a reason you have two ears and only one mouth. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, goes a long way. Well, Jill, you've obviously been succeeding at this. You're a great example of kind of taking it from grassroots and by the bootstraps, and give us a success story. You don't have to use anybody's names. We all have client privilege stuff, but just a service or something that your company brought to the table that's why we're all here. Just made a big difference in somebody's life, and you like to retell that.
Well, the two clients that I would think of, both happened to be women, and both happened to have involved with cancer. One client called me desperate because her husband was dying of cancer, and she wanted to move to a new house and get everything settled before he passed away. She wanted to list her house in 7 days.
Wow.
So we managed to pack up her entire house and get her moved in 2 days. And it was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house.
Wow.
And we made it happen. And she was overjoyed that we could do this for her before her husband passed away, so that everybody could be settled in their new home. That's the short. The long is that I worked with 2 women, elderly, in their 70s, who happened to have breast cancer. They wanted to move to assisted living. They knew they were both undergoing chemotherapy. They didn't know each other. And as it turned out, they wanted to be part of this process. They did not want us to come in and just pack them up and move them. Mm-hmm. They wanted to be able to go through their things, decide what they wanted to keep, not keep. We worked with them 1.5 years, both of them, every Friday for 3 hours, because that's all they could manage. Mm-hmm. So it's customizing. I tell people I can't put everything we do on a business card or in a brochure.
Yeah.
So if you think of something that you wonder if we do, ask us. It might be a service we've never done before, but we may do it now.
Yeah.
But Jill, wait, that's not package A, B, or C. I don't get it. I'm kidding, of course. Making clients happy and customizing is how you get to the point of the referral business we enjoy.
Yeah. Well, those
and
are
being flexible.
Exactly. Those are awesome stories, Jill. Thank you so much for sharing those, and congratulations for really going out of the way and helping so many people. I mean, I know, you have reputation and success and you have all those things, but just being able to talk to someone and hear some of these stories, and it's just a real encouragement to see people out there in the trenches doing the work that matters to people. And so
I've had clients literally bring me to tears. I send out a customer satisfaction postcard after every visit. I want to make sure the employee was on time, that she did what she was hired to do, that they were very happy with our services. I need to know if anything went wrong. And sometimes they don't send that postcard back. They write me a letter. And the things that they say about what a great job we did, how they loved my employee. She was so patient. She was so compassionate. She didn't push. She let me work on my own time. Those are what matter to me more than anything else in the world. We had a positive impact on this person's life, and they took the time to tell me. And that made my year.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome. Well, listen, So tell us, I mean, we've got to hear a bit about what you've done and how you got here. What's on the horizon for your company?
Well, I started this business in 2005, and in 2008, I started hearing more and more people say, I really don't want to move. I really wish we could stay here, but I just don't think we can. And that's when aging in place started becoming on my horizon. I started paying more attention to it. I started seeing what it was. I developed my own checklist, which I carried around on a clipboard. Oh, you should do this. I think you should do that. I did a lot of reading. Some of it was just common sense, like zero thresholds. No threshold ever in your house from beginning to end. No stairs. No throw rugs. Some of it was very logical. Some of it wasn't. But the more I investigated it, unfortunately, my clipboard became a 125-page Excel spreadsheet. And I couldn't carry that around with me.
Oh, yeah.
But I have a passion for being thorough. So it dawned on me that maybe this might be a good, first I started with software program. Well, you can't really carry a laptop around with you. It's a little on the hard side. So then I started thinking, maybe this would make a good mobile app. And that's really where the app development started and where the idea came, is that I wanted something I could carry around either in a phone or in a tablet and just check them off, go through them, decide, here are the questions I need to answer, and then be able to print out a report at the end and give it to the family, give it to the senior, give it to the caregiver. Here are the recommendations changes that you could do to your home to make it much safer and more secure. And you can age in your home if you make some of these changes. You can do it a little more safely. And that's how it started. It took me 6 years. The hardest part was finding a developer. I never knew that trying to get something out of your head and get it on paper was so hard. I don't know how people write music and lyrics. I haven't figured that out. It's the same thing. I'm trying to get someone to understand what was in my head and how I wanted it to work was the hardest part.
Yeah. Well, I get it. I felt the same way when I thought I was done writing a book and I learned how far I was from publishing a book. Yeah, for sure. Well, we applaud you for forward thinking and, thinking about an app and how to make it mobile friendly. And I know that just launched. Before we get into how to get a hold of you or where to find that, one of the things, and you've been speaking our language the whole time, one of the things that we really preach from an indirect branding of yourself is involvement in community, philanthropy and giving back. So just to shift gears maybe to something a little more, emotional and from the heart. Jill, how do you pay it forward?
Well, I have a lot of strong ties to this entire area. And that area, we go out an hour and a half outside of my region. So I try and sponsor as many things as I can, particularly if they're related to some of the senior residences. We have some senior lunch centers. We have some senior activity centers, trying to go ahead and sponsor their Christmas party, sponsor their St. Patrick's Day party, buy all the Valentines for people to give to other people. There's always a way. I mean, there's really an endless number of ways. Sponsoring a team for multiple sclerosis walk. The opportunities are endless. What can you put on the back of a T-shirt, that will sponsor someone? It's brand recognition. You want your name recognized everywhere. You want it connected with what you do. My area is aging in place and downsizing. So I try and be where people will look at not only the name of the company, but what we do. And, it's, again, brand recognition. Where can I go that people will see me? Is the ballpark a best place? Probably not. Yeah. So it's narrowing down the best place that the most people will see my business, my demographic. Where are they going to look? Where are they going to be? And that's kind of where we go. We donate a lot of time and effort. We volunteer. All of my employees do. for Meals on Wheels. Every opportunity we have, we try and fit in, depending on our schedule, with what works, so we can give back to the people that we love.
And doesn't that feel better than the $5,000 in print ad that you spent that got you no clients?
Yeah.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, listen, we're going to be winding it down here in a minute, but I wanted to ask you one question we try to ask everyone that we interview with, and that is, from a what's one piece of advice, okay, that you would give? What's one nugget of wisdom for someone who's wanting to start or grow their business right now, and supporting boomers and their support networks, their family, caregivers, whatever? What's one piece of advice you would give them?
Take time to know and understand your brand. We can get very caught up into trying to do too many things at one time. I want to offer this service. I want to offer that service. I should advertise here. I should advertise there. You really need to know your brand. Who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for? And why do you do it? And if you can answer all those questions, that really, really helps your business grow. You can't grow your business if you don't know your brand.
Beautiful. No, that's really well put. And again, Mark, I'm going to say it right now. When you and I get too busy with our coaching clients, I know who our next coach is.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Oh, wow. Wow. Great advice. Jill, you've been an awesome guest. We appreciate you with all the time difference stuff joining us during your evening outside of business hours tonight. So, and again, for all the listeners out there in Booming Your Bottom Line, I know that yet again, just like Todd did, you're just giving excellent insight and advice from somebody that's on the street and doing this day in and day out, and what they need to be doing. We've all made some mistakes, right? And now we can show you how not to. So well done. I hope that you'll do this on your social networks and anybody that listens too, because our whole goal, I think, is that we as an industry rise up and meet this need. So
Absolutely.
Before we let you go and wrap up, Jill, tell people how to get a hold of you.
The Silver Spaces app is currently on iTunes. Obviously, it's called Silver Spaces. You can also download it off the website, silverspaces.com. And my email is info@silverspaces.com. There's contact information, phone number, everything is right there. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. I do want to say, however, I want to take the opportunity to say that one of the most frustrating things for me in business was when I had a question and I didn't know where to go with that question. And it's people like the two of you. Mark, I've picked your brain. I'm surprised you have a brain. Because for, 4 or 5 years, I've been picking your brain. I've been saying, I've got this problem. What should I do? You've kind of become a mentor to me.
Well,
and I think you two have developed an awesome niche, because people need to know where they can go to get a question answered from someone they trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank you for putting out this effort of Booming Your Bottom Line. I think it is a tremendous opportunity for people to learn how to grow their business from people they trust.
Well, thank you, Jill. We appreciate you saying that. That was really nice. I tell you what, we're going to put up the links in the podcast on our page so people can have the links to your websites and the application too, so they'll be able to get over to your website. And I just want to thank you as well for being here with us, and hopefully we'll get the chance to talk again soon.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Have a great evening. All right, everybody. Well, just for a quick update, I do want to remind you, we had a free training recently about how to build your professional network called Profitable Professional Networking for Your Boomer Service Business. And in that, we covered what the benefits are, tips are for finding the right people to work with, and how to maximize your revenue that you'll generate from those projects, and a ton more info. If you missed out on that live, hey, don't worry. We took that content and we created a resource for you. It's a book. It has all the information, insights, and tips that were in that training. It's a real actionable handbook for you as you continue to expand your professional network and learn how to get the most out of it. So you heard Jill talk about it today. We talk about it all the time. So to get your hands on that as soon as possible so you can start implementing today, just go over to bybllive.com/networkbook.
All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode of Booming Your Bottom Line and you are leaving a little bit more inspired today. We thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom line.